Good morning and welcome to our morning meditation. Hope you are having a wonderful morning, and as we go into complete this week, that you had a wonderful week. I invite you again to let your family and friends know that we are having these morning meditations every week, every day, and I hope that you'll join us. Today I'll be sharing, as usual, words from our transcendentalist forebearer, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and a little bit of history, just a snippet of history in regards to Mary Carpenter, who was a British Unitarian, and then a nice little quirky little video, and then we'll have a little bit of reflection after that. So I'll invite you into a time to settle in with a time of meditation. You are invited to settle in now in this time of meditation and prayer as we come together as one body to reflect and to send goodwill into the world. I invite you to settle in as we enjoy these words and reflect on them from Ralph Waldo Emerson. From the Method of Nature. Nature seems to further to reply, I have ventured so great a stake as to my success in no single creature. I have not yet arrived at any end. The gardener aims to produce a fine peach or pear, but my aim is the health of the whole tree, root, stem, leaf, flower, and seed, and by no means the pampering of the monstrous pericarp at the expense of all other functions. In short, the spirit and peculiarity of that impression nature makes on us is this, that it does not exist to any one or any number of particular ends, but to the numberless and endless benefit. That there is no private will, no rebel leaf or limb, but the whole is oppressed by one superincumbent tendency, obeys that redundancy of excess of life, which in conscious beings we call ecstasy. In many traditions, it is believed that you speak out loud your wish of goodwill and send it into the world. It gives power. And therefore, today, I offer up to you our teachers, those who offer and give of themselves limitlessly in many instances. They give of themselves in their time, in their compassion, in their love and their care of our children and us as adults as we get older and we learn from them. They give of their money, their treasure. They work away from their families. They offer to us so much when we so often fail to appreciate them. So I offer to you during this time to our teachers. I offer to you a time when we reflect on the work that they do, the sacrifices they give, and I ask that they receive comfort during this time when they are without their students, when they are without their work and they're in need to, and their ability to come together in community and to celebrate who they are and all that they offer us. I ask you to take time today to contact a teacher, whether it's a teacher of your child, someone in your own community, and to thank them for the work that they do. And I invite you to speak love and peace into the world now by speaking of your own personal intention, by sending positive energy into the world, and simply name that person either in the comments or out loud in your own space, and share with us those who you feel that you need intention at this point. We speak of that which we carry in our heart as a sign that we care for the larger interdependent world around us. And I now bind not only that has been named, but that is which has been unnamed, but that we carry in our hearts with the love of our community gathered here and all across the world as we come together to celebrate our teachers today. Today, our meditation is in remembrance of, if I can pull up her picture, British Unitarian and co-founder of the Ragged School, Mary Carpenter. The Ragged School was a school for the very poor, and she was especially concerned with the physical and nutritional development of poor children. She worked with numerous Unitarian philanthropies to provide reformatories for children. She protested slavery, and she reformed penal laws and institutions and provided to feed children who were poor or on the street. She helped write the Industrial Schools Act of 1857, and that act provided practical education for children on the street. So if a child was found to be homeless or on the street and unable to sustain begging, the Industrial Schools Act of 1857 allowed for the first kind of boarding schools for poor children. And the intention of those schools was to help those children be able to receive food, care, and education. So we're grateful for the 1857 Act, which then led to several reforms and opportunities for removing children from industry work. So it's an interesting misnomer that it's the Industrial Schools Act, but it was removing children from industry work or from begging on the streets and helping poor children get into schools that would benefit them not only just in education, but also their full development. And it is where we get this idea of lunch programs and these concepts of lunch programs and other programs that are held within our school systems. Certified industrial schools were special residential schools, and the schools were inspected by the government and other institutions, and then were allowed to help our students and be safe and secure. But now I want to show you a video that I think was interesting and fun. It's about our teachers and what we believe about them when they leave our schools in June. And so many of our teachers today are without schools. And so as I was watching this video, I want you to particularly focus um, on the spaces that the teachers are in, because there's a poignant piece behind it. It isn't just about celebration, because all of our teachers today aren't celebrating. Some of them are in pain. So as we watch this video of celebration, I also invite you to take a moment to reflect on parts of it that I will come back to after the video is displayed. We watched that video, and I want to share with you just some reflection on, or just to ask you to take some time to think about, what our teachers are going through right now. Um, it seems, fun and exciting that, in this video of a normal year where they leave in June and the schools are empty. But today, there are lots of teachers and children who are in pain because of those empty chairs. They are not able to engage in the community that they set forth. Because schools are not about just education. They're about community. They're about our teachers being able to share in a space and give of themselves in a way that is really giving of them at their heart and soul level. So though we may be thinking, and there's lots of commentary floating around the internet about the laughter and the jokes of parents doing homeschooling and teachers doing videos and whatnot, and there's lots of learning experiences, but there's also lots of frustration. So I invite you again today to take a few moments to remember and to honor a teacher in your life. If you have in contact with someone, to reach out to them. If you don't have contact with them anymore, to just take a moment to honor them and to remember their space in your life and how they've offered you something that is beyond just education. It is really about the spirituality and the love that they've given you or they've given our children throughout the ages. So I'll invite you now into a moment of silence as we can take a time to reflect on that on our teachers and the world around us. And may we say together, blessed be. I want to thank you who join us on these mornings of meditation and time together. Today's a little rough with our tech, but it's all good. Um, and again, it's not about the time that we spend here on this video or this technology, but the time that we just take to be with each other and to rest and to relax and get away from the news and all those things. So again, as we close our time together, I invite you to give me your comments, tell me what you'd like to see as we go forward. Each day there's a little bit of different type of meditation, and that's what I kind of want to show is that there's different ways to meditate. Sometimes it's listening to music, sometimes it's watching a fun video, sometimes it's listening to some poetry or a story. But there's lots of different ways to meditate and to just take time to slow down and to just be with yourself or with your loved ones, away from everything else that's going on in the world around us. So as we close our time together, may we say together that we believe in something greater. May we send peace to the world. May we recognize the divine within you and me and send love into the world by saying together, Amen, Amin, Shalom, Salam, Namaste, and blessed be.